Hello, welcome back to Velvety Cleopatra. That's me, but my real name is Gemma. But you can call me Velvy or Cleo or Gemma or Gem, whatever. Anyway, sorry for my absence last week. I actually was away visiting my family in Norfolk. I live in South Wales and my family live 250 miles away in Norfolk, so I like to go and visit them as often as I can. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go as often as I'd like due to the lockdown and COVID. Over the last couple of years, I've barely seen them, so I went and spent a bit of time with them. And then I've also been working on my PhD. So for those of you that don't know, I am studying for my PhD in Egyptology. That's where the Cleopatra part of my name comes from. The velvety comes from the fact that I am obsessed with all things velvet. But yeah, so I've been working on that. I have a deadline on the 5th of June. I'm working on my literature review, which is basically reading all the material that's been written about my chosen topic and saying why my research is needed and what I think about those pieces of literature that have already been written. So it's about 10,000 words that I'm working on at the moment. So I'm very busy, and I also work full-time, and I'm trying to run a YouTube channel, and I like to have time to sew. So I'm a busy bee. But anyway, I'm back, and today I have another sewing project. So first things first, I am wearing one of my Charm Patreon pattern Joan, it's a dress, wiggle dress or top. So this is, I've made a top version of this, so you can see it's quite a long top, but yeah. And I just love this lemon nylon lycra fabric. I like making these tops out of nylon lycra because they retain their stretch really well, so I don't need to put elastic in the shoulders, which is nice. And also the prints seem to last a lot longer and they don't go bobbly like jersey fabric would, for example. But anyway, that's what I'm wearing today. This is the sweetheart neck version of this pattern, and I've made about 30 garments from that pattern. I just love it so much. Maybe I'll show them all to you one time. But anyway, today I'm working on a different pattern that I have never sewn before. And you know what that means? It means a toile or a mock-up, which I'm not particularly excited about because I hate making mock-ups. It's just, it's stretch fabric, so, you know, chances are it will probably fit me, but I just want to make sure that it does before I cut into my lovely fabric, which was not super expensive, but more expensive than what I'm used to. Anyway, so the pattern I'm going to be making is a mashup of the George and Ginger Starstruck bodice and their Mix-It-Up dress. So I'll put some pictures in. So I'm going to be making the Starstruck bodice, the one that actually looks like a star across here. And I'm going to be adding the sort of wiggle pencil skirt option from the Mix-It-Up dress. The idea is that I will have a pin-up rockabilly kind of style dress, although the star pattern here may not be particularly fitting with that kind of style, but I think it will look like it when you see the fabric that I'm going to use. Anyway, firstly, I'm going to be using this polka dot fabric that I had left over from another project just to make a mock-up of the bodice because it's stretchy and it's similar stretch to the fabric I'm going to be using. It's a little lighter weight, but that's okay. And also, if it comes out nicely, then I will actually wear it. So I'm thinking of making the peplum top version with this, if it fits. So I'll make the bodice part so to check the fit on the bust and everything, and if it fits well I might add the peplum and have it as a top. So I think I've got just enough fabric left, otherwise it'll be like a little crop top thing that probably will never see the light of day, because as confident as I am about my body now, your girl's not a crop top wearer. I'm just not. I'm nearly 40. I know that there should be no age on wearing crop tops and things, but for me personally it's just not my style. Anyway, more power to the crop top wearer, as I say. But the fabric I have to make this dress out of, look at that. Just look at that. It's like a nautical themed kind of traditional tattoo style striped scuba. I think it's scuba. Yeah, it's scuba. I just, oh, look at it. It's so cute. Let me show you closely. Look at that pattern. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And I just think it'll be perfect for summer. And you know I love anything nautical. I'm just obsessed with nautical things. I've just been obsessed with nautical things for as long as I can remember. And I don't even know why. But I recently bought about £40 worth of vintage buttons because they were nautical themed. And they're on the way, and I will show you when they arrive. But anyway, that's the plan for today. So I want to get this project done in a day because it's Saturday today, tomorrow is Sunday, I need to work on my PhD tomorrow, and I'm back at work on Monday. So the plan is get this done in a day. That's a mock-up and a final garment in a day. Does this face look confident? Wish me luck. So sewing of the mock-up has commenced. I've cut out the pieces. I don't have as much fabric as I thought, so I can't line this. Fortunately, the fabric is not that see-through. I mean, look, I said it's not that see-through, and you could totally see through it, but when it's on your body, it's not see-through. And I'd be wearing a black bra under this anyway, so, you know, you can't see the lemons through there. Anyway, so what I'm doing currently is making the bodice, the front bodice pieces. So this is the bit that will go here. So I have put binding along the top and joined it using a zigzag stitch and a jersey needle. So I can already see this is going to fit me well. So it's going to cover my bosom and it's going to stretch to the side seam. So this, yeah, I think this is going to fit really well. And actually this polka dotty one, I might wear it as a crop top. Like, yeah, I might, you know, I'm thinking with a high-waisted skirt, that might be great, or high-waisted jeans. We'll see, we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, so this is one of the front bodice pieces with the binding attached, and this is why I love working with stretch fabrics. I know so many people are scared of them, but you can just, you know, it's going to stretch, so it's going to fit. But also when you're putting binding on and things, it's like you just stretch it to fit, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, it just works. Anyway, I'm going to put this mock-up together and then try it on, and I'll show you then, because you don't want to watch me sew in a mock-up. You want to watch me sew in the real thing with the much more interesting fabric, which will be so much nicer to work with than this jersey flimsy stuff that rolls over at the edges. It's not that bad to work with, actually. I've had some jersey fabric that rolls at the edges so badly. This is not too bad. This fabric is from Knighton Fabrics. You can find them on Facebook. I buy a lot of my stretch fabrics from them. They have really cute prints and they're cheap as well, really good value. Their customer service is really good as well. The fabric I'm using for the final piece is from Snapdragon Fabrics. Again, you can find them on Facebook, and they also have a website. Again, check them out. The lady that runs them, Vicky, is lovely, and I like to buy my fabrics from lovely people, you know? I'm waffling. Okay, so I've made the mock-up. I'm really happy with this. And actually, how cute does it look? This would make an amazing bikini. I'm just saying, okay? Get some, like, cups in here. This would be the cutest bikini ever. It would be so cute. Okay, so just bear in mind, it doesn't have anything attached underneath. It'll have a skirt, like, but this fits perfectly.
Dear viewer, it did not fit perfectly.
Yes, I wasn't sure about the fit. What I did was I picked a size based on my high bust, so I went for a size 20, so 2XL I think that is. Graded out to a 26 for the hips, because I've got, you know, I've got big hips. But I think this, I was worried the straps would be too loose. They are perfect. It's perfect. And with a skirt attached, it's good. Oh, damn, I'm going to have to try and get some more of this fabric. I really hope they've got some left because I want to finish this. I want to finish this and have a polka dotty version. It's cute. So I'm wearing a multi-way bra. It's not the best for support, so I have got a better one, but the underwire is poking out and I need to figure out how to fix it. But I think, or a clear strap to like just, you know, hoik them up a little bit. How cute. I friggin' love it. I actually love it. I'm gonna cut right into my main fabric now. I'm so excited. Now I know it works and it's gonna fit. And look how it shows off my tattoos. It is perfection. Perfection. Oh, I'm so excited. I need to go and make the final thing now. Veronica is now wearing the toile. Next to her is Emmy, named after the mannequin in the film Mannequin. And if you haven't seen the 1987 cinematic masterpiece that is Mannequin, pause this video right now and go and watch it. Okay, so I have essentially flatlined my bodice pieces now. This is all cut out and ready to go, but I've flatlined the bodice pieces to join the lining and the outer fabric, which is the same fabric, together. I have done my best to pattern match in the sense that the stripes will match up. So that's what I wanted. I just wanted the stripes to match across. I didn't mind so much about the actual, you know, images. And then I've got the binding here where I've marked the middle points of both because the binding will join the top and then fold over. And yeah, so I'm about to add the binding to the bodice. So you can see, so now I have attached the first strap. So you stitch it along this is the inner bit. So you imagine your cleavage is in here. So this is the first strap that goes up over the shoulders. So you stitch it to the side and then fold it over, so it's the binding basically, and then you fold it in on itself all the way up so it becomes the strap. I'm so proud of my stripe matching here. I mean, yeah, look at that. So now I'm going to sew up this long edge and then we'll attach, I think the next thing is making the cross straps then and attaching those. So there, that's the strap. And yes, I sewed over my pins. I didn't intend to sew over my pins, but it was kind of running away from me, and the strap does wiggle around quite a lot underneath the foot, so I thought best to leave the pins in. There we go, nice finished strap with a narrow zigzag, neat on both sides. This is the outside. Yeah. So now both centre pieces are done and the straps are attached. We need to check that these straps haven't stretched out when the top stitching has been going on. So the pattern comes, let me just get this, without knocking everything on the floor. The pattern comes with a strap template for the finished length. So this one here is the front and back strap, the one that we've just done. So we want to check that the strap is the right length. Next step is making the cross straps, which are here, these ones. So these, this is what I was explaining earlier, you fold it over, so it folds over sort of half in half in, and then in half again. This has still got the paper pattern on, so it's quite hard to show you, but I'm sure you know how to make a strap.
Took a trip on a great big ship to a land across the sea, to a land across the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea. When far from shore the sea I saw, and the saucy sea saw me, and the saucy sea saw me, saw me, saw me, saw me, saw me. Say, wait a minute, we all saw you when you first came in. Well, you needn't get sore about it. Oh, I love to be by the briny sea and watch the...
This one says hope on it, which is cute. So with the bodice pieces now lining side up, we need to overlap the bottom where the binding is and just baste that in place. Baste in the place, London. I couldn't not, okay? I had to say it. I just have to say it every time. I know I hate myself for it as well. So here we go, we're just basting. I'm going to use a zigzag stitch just because that's what I'm doing anyway. I'm not going to pin it because I can easily hold it. There we go. Basted in the place. London. Right. So they're joined now, overlapped. Next thing we need to do is place the other straps. So we have two of these. One was on the floor. So we have two cross straps which go like this and like this. And then we have the little middle that goes like this. So you can see the star now. So we have to connect
But I can't
pieces.
behave on the ocean wave with a land so far away, sir. With a land so far away, sir.
Classic. Where's my pin gone on this side? Oh, I distinctly remember taking it out. Why did I do that? What an idiot. That's okay. We've got our trusty template here. Mistakes happen to some people more than others. Granted.
A storm came up like an angry puff, and the bell began to toll. And the bell...
There we go. So that is our star. Hopefully you can see that. You can see it makes a star. And now we're going to stitch along. So what I do, you're actually supposed to stitch, when you stitch the binding down, stitch the binding down, but then also do top stitching along the top. But I don't do that because you have to top stitch to secure the straps in place. So I just think, well, I'd rather just have one line of top stitching than go back in and top stitch over the top stitching. So it'll look messy. And because I'm using a zigzag stitch, lining that up perfectly so that it doesn't show that it's two lines of stitching would be near impossible for me. So I'd rather just do, now I'll come along, top stitch along here, and it will secure the strap down and also finish off the top stitching, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense.
I fell downstairs and said my prayers when the ship began to roll. When the ship began...
So I've secured both straps on the top of the bodice. Now I need to secure the centre strap and the cross straps to the front and back straps. So again, I'm going to do the second row of top stitching, so all the way down the inside edge, so all the way down to the middle, and then back up here, and that will secure everything in place.
Say, wait a minute, you're on board a ship, not in a bakery. You're serving altogether too many rolls. Well, I thought you'd like a little more dough. a horse. So that seems place for me, best I ever saw, sir.
So here we have our completed bodice front. All the straps attached, all neatly top stitched, and now we have to attach the back bodice, which can be potentially confusing because you're sandwiching this ends of these straps in the middle of the two back bodice pieces, so the lining and the outer. So I'm going to do that now. So this is the bodice lining, right side up. I've also, the back bodice lining, right side up. I've also got the front bodice, right side up. Now, I need to put these straps, make sure everything is not, well, you don't want anything twisted at this stage. So everything's flat. I need these straps that are loose at the ends to match up to the top of the bodice back, the lining, and I'm just going to pin them on there for now. Okay, so they are pinned to the shoulder there, or what would be the shoulder, just checking nothing's tangled. Then we get our bodice back piece and we put it wrong side up on top of the bodice lining, so we're sandwiching the straps in at the shoulders there. And I'll take that pin out and put it through all the layers. There we go, and then we are going to sew all along this top edge, sandwiching the straps in between so that when we turn it right sides out, everything's neatly enclosed in the lining. So I'm just going to put a few pins in just to be on the safe side. I could do this on my overlocker. I think I might sew this on my overlocker, just so it's a stronger finish, and also the overlocker stitches are stretchy anyway, so also it's the overlocker's better at getting through the chunky layers, because where those straps are, you've got 6 layers of fabric now, if my maths is correct. So yeah, I think I'll do this on the overlocker. We are cooking with gas now. I thought I was sewing this all on my overlocker, and actually my overlocker had unthreaded itself after this distance. So all of this bit I've gone over with the overlocker, and it's cut the fabric, but it hasn't actually sewn it, so now everything's loose and I'm going to have to do that again. Overlocker success. Everything is attached this time. So now what we're doing is attaching the sides, well, sewing up the side seams. So we've got, just making sure my straps are all okay again. Yes. So we have the bodice front, right side up. Now we're going to sandwich it between the back bodice lining and the back bodice, like so. So it's kind of inside. Is this the burrito method? I'm not actually sure. But anyway, we're going to secure the side seams now. So all 4 layers of fabric together. We've got 2 layers of the bodice and 2 layers of the back bodice. And we're going to join it all together.
The best to me when I'm standing on the sofa, when I'm standing on the sofa.
So we have the side seams are done up, and now we turn it in the right way. Oh, I'm so nervous about this. Do you know what? I basted the stripes. That's not bad. I basted it before I overlocked it because we're dealing with stripes and I wanted it to be, you know, good. This side has shifted. How? I don't even understand it. This is the inside. Wait. This is the outside. Yeah, there's a slight step on that one. This one's alright. I guess if I'm wearing it, I'll just have to remember not to lift my left arm. But overall, I'm happy. To the untrained eye, the stripes follow. And that's going to be under my arm anyway, so who cares? So yeah, we have our bodice. So what I can do now is top stitch around this back edge if I want to. I think I will, just so it looks the same as the front. I think I will. And it'll just finish it neatly, and it'll hold the seam allowance inside in place. And it'll stop the lining rolling over. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to attach the waistband. I'm glad I top stitched around the back neckline because it just looks so much nicer and neater, and it's just going to stay laying flat now all the way around. Very happy with that. So now that's our front bodice. Well, that's the bodice done. So now I need to do the waistband, and then the skirt. Oh, I need to baste the two layers of the back bodice together, so they're handled as one from now on. So I'm just gonna put a couple of pins in, just to hold it together. There we go. Just make sure that's all flat. So I have basted the bottom of the bodice closed at the back, so the two pieces of fabric are joined. I have also sewn together the waistband at the side seams and the lining of the waistband at the side seams, and now we need to put both waistbands, so lining and outer fabric, we need to join them to the bodice. And look, Hope, she is going to make an appearance right on the front of the waistband, which is nice. I'm going to baste this and then sew it on the overlocker. Waistband is attached, bodice is done. Come to pinning the skirt together, there's an issue here. The skirt is about 5 inches wider than the bodice. Now there should be 1/2 inch seam allowance, so 1/4 inch either side, so 1/2 inch seam allowance to come off there. But that still leaves me about 4.5 inches too much. Now what I did was graded the waistband out to a 26 and then cut the skirt as a 26 to fit my hips. All I can think of is that George and Ginger's sizing must have changed between these two patterns, because there's a huge discrepancy here. Now I know this fits me, the bodice, because I made the mock-up and it fit. So what I'm thinking is if I bring the waist of the skirt in, so like curve it in to match, so it'll just be a more pronounced curve coming out to the hips, and then it should fit. This is a crazy difference though. I just thought, oh, I'll just check it matches before I start sewing it together, and it doesn't. They are two different patterns, admittedly, but I thought, because I've seen someone else do this pattern mash before, put these two together, I just assumed the sizing would be the same, and I was obviously wrong. Okay, so you can see the skirt now has a more pronounced hip curve, which is closer to my body shape anyway. So I'm going to try this on now, just over my jeans, just to make sure it fits. It should fit. It's stretchy. One moment. So as you can see, it fits. It fits like a glove. This is how I like my skirts to fit. I don't care about the belly, but this is how I like my skirts to fit. So this was a good call to take it in. And now it's like, it's just hugging the curves perfectly. So I thought I'd try the top part on, the bodice, because, you know, while I was trying on, I might as well. It is tight, and I don't know what's happened, because you saw the mock-up.
Dear viewer, the mock-up had the same issue, but she didn't notice because she was too busy being ridiculously happy.
It looked great. Now, obviously I need more coverage on a boob, because that's the bottom of my boob. So I need another, I'd say 2 inches plus seam allowance. This whole section needs to come down. So, yeah, I need some kind of bust adjustment basically here. I don't know how you do that on a non-darted bodice. I guess I just make these longer. I have got enough fabric left to redo the top, so that's fine. Frustrating, but fine. There's too much stitching going on for me to unpick and salvage any of this. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to remake the top. But I tell you what, it's supportive. I haven't got a bra on. But it is because it's tight. So, annoying. I don't know what's happened. Maybe this fabric is slightly less stretchy than the other. But they seemed similar. I don't... I mean, my boobs are they're just busting out of this. I mean, they look good, but I think I'm gonna have to redo this. It's okay. I can redo it. It's frustrating, but I can do it. What are you doing under there? Up to no good as always. 100%. Well, another day. I kind of left this project for a while because I didn't have time to work on it. I've been working. So anyway, today I want to get this done. So I'm sitting here with the bodice that I sewed up. That's too small. And I'm going to try and adjust the pattern. So what I'm figuring is, let's just hold this here. I need more room in this bit. This bit is fine. These bits are fine. It's just the cups, and obviously I'm going to have to adjust the back to match. So I've got the pattern pieces. I've got the front bodice piece here. I've got the back bodice piece here. And then I've also got the back to front strap, the one that goes across down to there, because obviously that's going to be affected as well. So these are the 3 pieces that I'm going to have to adjust. And what I've done, I've drawn a line across, kind of across the middle of that piece really, and I've done the same on the back, parallel to the grain line, and I'm going to slash and spread and add extra room in there. I'm thinking, I thought 2 inches, but I think 3 is actually going to be better. I will try it on before I attach the waistband, so I can always, you know, chop some off if I need to, but I think 3 is going to be, looking at my trusty metal ruler here, 3 is there. That's quite a big amount to sort of curve under the bust. I'm thinking that's going to be about right. Maybe I'll do 2.5, I'll go in the middle. Maybe I should put this on and actually frickin' measure. Anyway, so I'm going to cut it, open it up, put some paper in, and I'm going to cut it out again and sew it up and see how it goes. I know I should make another mock-up, but frankly I don't have the time or the patience. And I know that if it comes out wrong, then I'll have to do it again anyway, and there's the time and patience I was talking about, but I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it. Anyway, I always keep the scraps of paper that I cut off patterns when I cut them out, so these I can use to fill in the gaps. I figured as well, say like this is the front bodice piece, there's a very specific type of curve along the bottom where it joins the waistband, and I don't want to start mucking about with that. I don't need to add horizontal like width, you know, because I want it to be tight so that it supports and I don't have to wear a bra. So I want to keep the fit horizontally the same, because that was fine. It was just I need more depth, more length over the bust. So I'm thinking if I do it this way, I don't need to touch this curve, because I could just add 2 or 3 inches on the bottom, but I'd have to mimic that curve and it'd just be so difficult to do that. So I'd rather just cut, open it up by 2 inches, redraw the seam lines, do the back to match, make the straps long enough to match. Voila. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That's what they say, isn't it? Does anyone actually say that anymore? I'm showing my age now. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with this. I'll show you when I've finished with the pattern pieces what I've done. And then we'll go ahead and cut out. I would love to get this done today, seriously. I want to move on to other things.
The ship was wrecked, as you might expect, and the crew was washed ashore. And the crew was washed ashore, ashore. Each can a pilot a welcome smile, but a smile was all he wore. But a smile was all he wore.
Okay, so I'm trying this on again just to work out where we need the extra space. So at the sides here, excuse my back fat. At the sides here, that is kind of at the right length, but we need more here. That's what we need. So I'm thinking if I do it on like a hinge from the side seam and just open it up however much I need to cover my bust, but then I'm going to have to adjust the waistband. I don't want to do that because the waistband fits. I think I'm just going to go a straight 2.5 inches added in. I think that'll be about right. Looking at the back, I could do with a bit of extra length, and that would put it down to about where my waist should be, to be honest. So, I'm just going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't fit and I have to do it again. We're learning here. We're learning on this channel.
Say, what are you trying to do now? Start a war on the Sandwich Islands? Well,
so I've adjusted my pattern pieces, so I've added 2.5 inches in to the front and the back. I need to check the seams match. I've held them up against each other and they seem to match. They're about right, so I can finagle them a little bit. They're a tiny bit out, but because it's stretchy I can stretch them to match. It's fine. And then I've added 2.5 inches into this, but I've realised it's going diagonally.
Diagonally.
So I've done it horizontally, so it'll be 2.5 inches longer. Oh no, yeah, so it'll be 2.5 inches longer diagonally, but I might not need it to be that long, but I can trim it to length, you know, I can make it shorter. So I think it should be okay. We'll work this out. Anyway, I'm going to cut out my pattern pieces again. Okay, so I've recut out all the pattern pieces for the bodice and I've started sewing it up. And this is one of the cups with the strap, and I can already see that I think this is going to work because it covers the boobage now. So even if it was a bit higher up, it still comes to under, even where the seam allowance is, it comes to under where the bottom of the cup of my bra is. So I think we've cracked it, and I didn't need any more horizontal space because I wanted it to be supportive. So I think I might have made the right call here, just by making these longer. Also, look at that binding and the stripe matching. Come on, that's pretty good. I'm proud of that. So yeah, I've got both of my cups done, and now I'm about to sew up the rest of it. This is so dumb what I'm doing right now, like as if I need to show you this. But what I'm trying to show you is that I can cross them over and stitch up the V if I want to, so I can make it not as low cut, because it should be like that, and that's a lot of cleavage. But I can close it up a bit if I want to, so I might do that. Has it worked? Yes, it worked. This is so much better. And I've got the coverage at the back, and then the waistband is higher at the front anyway. It goes up in a curve, so this is correct. But the girls are secure. They are looking, I sewed up, basically the distance I added in, I sewed it up by that much at the bottom, because that would have been way too much cleavage. Way too much. And I'm happy with this.
What they do on the Sandwich Islands, you'd start a war. Why, what do they eat on the Sandwich Islands? Why, they live on the sandwiches there. Oh, I love to be with the family, for I love my ma and papa. But as soon as I prefer to see, as soon as I'm the father, as soon as I'm the father.
She's done. I'm so happy. It's turned out so well, and I'm not wearing a bra. This is supportive AF. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. I'll show you the length, although the light might go down. I don't think I can go back far enough. It's just below the knee. That squeaking was my shoes against the coffee table. Oh, I put cute shoes on and you can't even see them. Anyway, this was an experience, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's actually exactly what I wanted. And how does it, like, emphasize my curves? Chef's kiss. I love it. I actually love it. I know I always say that, but God, I love it. It's just so... It is pin-uppy, rockabilly, which is exactly what I was going for. Nautical, because you know I love a nautical moment. I'm so happy with it. A few final thoughts before I wrap up this video. Okay, I absolutely love this. If I was making it again in scuba, I would not do a lining on the bodice because it was too thick for my, even for my overlocker. My overlocker was struggling really badly. The knife kept going under the layers of fabric, especially at the centre where there's like, you've got all these layers of the straps and the layers of the lining and the bodice. Too many layers, too thick. So I would say skip the lining if you're making it out of scuba. It's supportive enough to not need it, but if you're making it out of jersey or anything softer than scuba, I would say do the lining and maybe add foam cups. There is an option for this in the pattern, and I think I would do that next. Anyway, thank you for joining me on another slightly chaotic sewing project. Please do like the video and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you going to try this pattern? If anybody wants any advice on increasing the bust area, let me know, because it seemed to work. And yeah, please do subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here with me. I try to post once a week, if I can. Anyway, thank you. Bye.
I took a trip on a great big ship to a land across the sea. To a land across the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea.